marks the start of the most sacred week of the year, a display of devotion and a more than 2,000-year-old tradition celebrating Christ's arrival into Jerusalem. Hi, I'm Christine Persichetti. Palm Sunday in the Diocese of Brooklyn signals the beginning of Holy Week. A procession led by Bishop Robert Brennan moved through the streets of Brooklyn. Pilgrims carried blessed palms and sang as they made their way to the Co-Cathedral of St. Joseph. Currents News' Jessica Easthope walked alongside them.
They sing because they know the joy that's to come. And they pray because Christ's sacrifice changed the world.
We take what we do in church, we take our faith into the streets. We live it by the authenticity of our lives.
Bishop Robert Brennan led, and more than 100 pilgrims followed, walking roughly half a mile down Vanderbilt Avenue from Grand Army Plaza to the Co-Cathedral of St. Joseph Sunday.
We walk with Jesus, remembering that Jesus always walks with us. We walk with him as he makes his solemn entrance into Jerusalem, as he makes his way to the cross.
Pilgrims proudly proclaim their faith just as they did more than 2,000 years ago, when palms were laid along Jesus' path during his entrance into Jerusalem. But for Ida Bravo, Palm Sunday is about Jesus' entrance into our lives.
All of us as Catholics should give one more time the entrance to Jesus in our lives, in our daily life, because he does so much for us. Without him, we are just completely lost.
The march was broadcast live on Net TV, and for the first time with a host.
This week is a reflection of who we are and what we are before God.
Father Henry Torres served as a guide for viewers on the feast day.
This is an opportunity for us to come together, bearing witness to the Lord's greatness, to the Lord's awesomeness, and the Lord's love.
Father Christopher Henyu, the rector of the Co-Cathedral, says as he watches the tradition grow year after year, so does the devotion of the faithful.
It's only but grown, as you can see the crowds, but this is probably the most public way in which you bear witness to your faith, and I think it's a great gift. It really is.
Pilgrims say the procession, which finished with a Spanish Mass, is a small sacrifice and gesture of gratitude.
We should start the day giving thanks, and we should finish like that, for our kids, for our family, for the world.
For the greatest sacrifice of all. In Prospect Heights, Jessica Easthope, Currents News.
Tens of thousands of faithful gathered at the Vatican for the start of Holy Week. In St. Peter's Square, Pope Francis presided over the Palm Sunday Mass, but the pontiff did not take part in the procession or give the homily. The Vatican didn't explain why the Pope didn't speak, but the Holy Father did read brief remarks after the Angelus, where he expressed his sorrow over the deadly attacks in Moscow. Net TV will be broadcasting all Holy Week and Easter services live. On Tuesday, March 26th, Bishop Brennan will celebrate a Chrism Mass at 4:30. He'll then offer a Holy Thursday Mass on March 28th at 7:30. On March 29th, Good Friday, Bishop will celebrate a Way of the Cross at 10 a.m. and a Passion of the Lord at 3 p.m. Bishop Brennan will then celebrate the Easter Vigil on Saturday, March 30th at 7:30 p.m. And on Easter Sunday, Bishop will lead the 11 a.m. Mass. All of those masses will be airing live on Net TV. Just be sure to tune in right here to see them. Plus, so many more services Net TV will be broadcasting. In honor of Holy Week, Currents News will air a special program after Tuesday's Chrism Mass. We'll introduce you to some of the hundreds of people preparing to be baptized at the Easter Vigil. They're called catechumens, and we found out their amazing journeys to the faith. Join us for this Currents News special edition, Tuesday, March 26th at our normal time, 7 p.m. Tuesday's Chrism Mass will bring together clergy from all over the Diocese of Brooklyn. We spoke with one who exemplifies what Lent is about, a season of self-reflection and change. Deacon Daniel Marr has seen some great tragedies in his life, but it all brought him back to God. Currents News' Katie Vasquez has his story from Woodside.
Do you promise respect and obedience to me and my successors?
I do.
In this moment, kneeling before Bishop Robert Brennan, Daniel Marr solidified his commitment to the Diocese of Brooklyn, becoming an ordained deacon.
Have mercy.
It was a calling that he admits he wouldn't have considered many years ago when he battled addiction.
I picked up some really nasty habits and drank a lot and got in trouble a lot.
Deacon Daniel was raised Catholic in Jackson Heights and then Douglaston. He served as an altar server at his parish, St. Anastasia, before eventually falling away from the faith. At 18, he joined the Army and was part of Operation Desert Shield in Iraq. It was during his time in service that he started looking for God again.
But it was like a floating craps game, trying to find a priest in a place like Iraq in 1990.
After his time in the Army, Deacon Daniel joined the New York City Police Department. It was there he witnessed one of the worst tragedies in American history.
Spent a lot of time at Ground Zero with my friends and with great people, and learned how hard cops can work when called upon to do so, to make sacrifices.
Eventually, after seeing so much sadness, Deacon Daniel found his way to Blessed Virgin Mary Help of Christians Church in Woodside, Queens.
I started coming to Mass over here and found a home.
Father Joseph Gibino is a spiritual advisor to Deacon Daniel. The vicar of evangelization and catechesis in the Diocese of Brooklyn says the deacon's faith journey is a perfect example for Lent.
All of Lent is about that conversion. And when you looked at Dan's life story, in the military, in the police, now as a deacon, it has been one long career of service. And now to hear the call of a vocation, to move from career to vocation is amazing.
Did you get in there? Dig in?
Now Deacon Daniel passes on that faith to others by teaching religious education classes. Just another service for the faith he loves. In Woodside, Katie Vasquez, Currents News.
One way Catholics can take part in this season of change and prepare for Easter is by going to the confessional. And the Diocese of Brooklyn is giving them plenty of opportunities this Reconciliation Monday. Priests were available in parishes across Brooklyn and Queens this afternoon for anyone wishing to take part in the sacrament. The goal is to prepare Catholics to fully celebrate Christ's resurrection with a clean heart. It's a message that both priests and parishioners felt at the Shrine Church of St. Bernadette in Dyker Heights.
I love how the goal of what we're doing together in the confessional is always so simple, to simply allow the person to be reconciled of their sins, to have a clean slate, to be ready for Easter.
We all have to go and to explain, the sins that we commit, and to think about it and to actually go, because there's so many things happening in the world today that we need it.
For anyone still hoping to take part in Reconciliation Monday, most parishes will have a priest available to hear confessions until 9 p.m., but that time and availability may vary. To find a confessional near you, just go to dioceseofbrooklyn.org and click on the parish finder in the upper right-hand corner. Easter's right around the corner, but Bay Ridge is still celebrating St. Patrick's Day as their 29th annual parade kicked off this Sunday. Following Mass at St. Patrick's Church, parade goers met at Marine Avenue and marched as one along 3rd Avenue in a show of support for the community. On top of showing off their Irish pride, the marchers also honored exceptional Irish individuals from Brooklyn, such as Chief Fire Marshal Daniel Flynn. And while the Irish youth were celebrating St. Patrick's, Hispanic young people in the Diocese of Brooklyn kicked off Holy Week early at their annual Caminata. The procession, which was brought inside because of Saturday's storm, was organized by the Diocese of Brooklyn's Jornada Movement. The Hispanic ministry brings teens and adults together for faith-building reflections that go on to define their lives. Bishop Brennan kicked off the festivities with a Mass at St. Martin of Tours Church in Bushwick. That was followed by a full day of praise, worship, music, Stations of the Cross, and more. And that is this Currents News Update. I'm Christine Persichetti. Thank you for joining us, because we are putting your faith in the news. Hope to see you again next time.
Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name.
At St. Bartholomew's in Elmhurst, young people are practicing their faith.
Come on, you got this, you got this.
And sports.
Be strategic, be strategic.
Meet the woman who acts as teacher,
the hand,
and coach.
Creating a space where they're also comfortable to explore their faith, ask questions, and at the same time have some fun, build friendship, and do it through sports.
How Angelica Taveras makes up the pulse of the parish, Wednesday on Currents News.